I grew up in a really blue collar, navy blue collar is what I call it. And we didn't have we had a bar in my basement because everybody put a bar in their basement, even though my dad wasn't a drinker.
Right, yeah.
But we didn't have a bookshelf in my
Right.
entire house. And I remember when I realized that one day, and I said, Mom, we didn't have a bookshelf in our house, did we? And she says, we had a bookshelf. I said, where? She said, in the basement closet. It's where we kept the popular mechanics magazines. Look, that's not a bookshelf, it's a magazine shelf. And it's in the closet? Who puts a bookshelf in the closet? In the basement. So Chicago, everybody has basements. And it's like this big room. And so we weren't allowed to go upstairs. We didn't go in our living room. That was for company. We were always in the basement. My mom had a stove. A lot of people did that. We had a fridge and a stove, and we had a sink, and we could all fit in that room to eat dinner.
Right.
We couldn't fit in the kitchen upstairs to eat dinner. There wasn't enough room. So we lived in our basement, basically. And a lot of people did that. They lived in their basements. I drank powdered milk till I was in 5th grade. Powdered milk.
Wow.
I remember my mom used to say, I would say, Mom, we're poor, right? Because we're living in a basement.
Right, yeah.
Drinking powdered milk. And I didn't even have my own shoes until I was like in 8th grade. I used to have to wear hand-me-down shoes. But anyway, I was like, Mom, we're poor, right? She goes, no, we're middle class. That's what she would say. I go, Mom, I'm drinking powdered milk. What are the poor people drinking? Just the powder.
Oh,
Anyway.
who was it? Was it Hemingway, or was it Fitzgerald who said, the American working class think they're temporarily embarrassed millionaires?
That's it.
But really quickly, where'd you go to college?
I went to Illinois State.
What's it called?
It was called Illinois State. I went there for 3 years, and I remember I went to the University of Illinois, which is in Champaign. I went to see a basketball game. Illinois State was playing, and our team that year was really good. No, I went to see a hockey game. That's what I went to see. So I went to see a hockey game, and our team was winning, beating the University of Illinois. They were in the Big Ten. It was a big deal, and so we were winning, and the University of Illinois students started to chant, "If you can't go to school, go to state." And I was like, oh, that really hurt. I was like, come on. So I only went there for 3 years, and I wasn't really a motivated student, and I decided I was going to take off a year. I was tired of being broke. I wanted to have money, take girls out and things. And so I got a job driving a forklift. Now my brother at the same company, just a few years earlier, maybe 2 years earlier, got in a forklift accident and cut his leg off right above the knee. And then I went and got a
that seems like the
I'm
career
like, that's what
path
I should
for
do.
me.
I should go do that. So I went and got it. I'm like, well, what's the chances of it happening twice? So I went and got a job there. And after the first day, I got out the college catalog and I was like, I got to go back to fucking college. I can't do it. And I just saw the handwriting on the wall and I'm like, I can't do this. And I ended up working there for like 2 semesters. So but I got out the college catalog, and Columbia College now it's like $40,000 a year, and it's an arts college and shit.
Right.
And but back then it was like a blue collar arts college, right? Mm-hmm. You were taught by professionals. It was super affordable. It was like $1,200 a year. It wasn't.
Right.
It was so, and they took all my credits. So that's why I went there. It wasn't a university, it was Columbia College. I think it still is Columbia College. And but I wanted to get a degree and get on with my life. Well, I figured out I could write advertising. I didn't know that you could do that as a job. I had no role models in my life. That nobody in my life did anything I wanted to do. And so consequently, you don't grow up thinking you can do things. I didn't even know they were available. So I took this. There was a class in advertising, and it was copywriting. I'm like, I'll take that. And then I was like, oh, I could write commercials. I could write copy. I could write print ads. I had a knack for it. I'm like, oh, I could do this for a living. And so I graduated. I got my degree. And I started doing comedy. And back then, in 1989, they just started paying you right away. So I started getting paid to do comedy right away. I was making as much doing comedy as I would make all week doing brickwork. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? I'm just doing comedy. 15 minutes, 30 minutes a night. I'm making as much as I do. 8 hours a day slaving in the sun doing brickwork. I never looked back. I was like, this is a... So I did that for about 4.5 years, and I moved to LA in 1995.